Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer the Horus Heresy, and today we're taking a look at the Space Wolves. In this video, we're going to go through the Space Wolves special rule that they get for playing in the game, before having a look at some units we recommend to get started with for the Force. We'll then take a look at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial purchase, and then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Space Wolves in Warhammer the Horus Heresy. And so, to begin with, we get the Bestial savagery rule when we play with Space Wolves, a unit made up entirely of models with the infantry unit type, and the Legion Astartes Space Wolves special rule that chooses to run in the movement phase may still make a shooting attack in the shooting phase and declare a charge in the assault phase in the same turn. So we get run and charge and run and shoot, and we do get the ability to run, charge and shoot if we so want to, which is really nice. There is a little caveat with the shooting: any shooting attacks made in the same turn as a unit that runs and by them will be classed as snapshots, so you will have that BS or 1 when you're making these, and units that can't run those, such as Legion Cataphracti Terminators, etc., or models that do not have the vehicle or infantry unit type, instead will gain +1 weapon skill on any turn in which they successfully charge. This would be things like bikes, etc., even if that unit was considered to make a disordered charge as well, which is pretty nice. So always getting that bonus even if you are disordered charging. Now lastly, models with vehicle unit type and the special rule can get +1 strength on their ram attacks to a maximum of 10, so a nice little additional benefit there as well. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to get started with for the Force? I think the Space Wolf Centurion model that at this time of recording comes up for pre-order this following weekend is a great place to start. First of all, it's a really cool model, and you've got some interesting things you can do with your Space Wolf Centurions, or indeed Praetors if you want a more experienced character as well, a little bit more expensive, but a little bit more fighting. Now, you do have the option for taking something like a base Fenrisian axe, which is really nice. These can replace your chainsaws and effectively gain Reaping Blow 1 as their special rule. You've also got Frostblades as well, which come in a bunch of different variety. Generally, they'll have things like Reaping Blow on them, though you've also got a bunch of other rules on them as well, and various different strength bonuses, and some nice AP of 3 and 2 on them as well, so some really effective combat weaponry. Lastly, you've got Ether Rune armor as well, which can be taken by any independent character that does not have the unique unit subtype, and you can give this to characters for 25 points. It gives you a 2+ armor save and adamantium will 4+, along with increasing your wounds characteristic by +1 as well. Now, the Legion Consularies, you've got a really bunch of interesting characters. If you're going with maybe some of the non-Space Wolves units, a Jarl is interesting to give counterattack to a unit that they join. But you've also got things like your Speaker of the Dead and the Caster of Runes as well. Some really interesting extra add-ons for your Space Wolves. Now, looking at a unit to begin with, first of all, we have the Grey Stalker Pack. These are really interesting in that you'll probably need your assault squads and your tactical squads to build these units up, along with some of the Space Wolf upgrades to potentially get axes and stuff like that on them. These become a really fun unit. Now, the Grey Stalker Pack has counter attack and has the Heart of the Legion rule as well. Their big thing is they're going to allow you to take some special weapons inside their base unit. So for every 5 models, you can have a special weapon from either a Magna or Minor combi weapon, Flamer, Volkite Charger, Rotor Cannon, Volkite Cavalier, Plasma Gun, or Melter Gun. You can also have a couple of plasma pistols or hand flamers in the units as well, and indeed you can equip the entire unit with power weapons if you want to, or Fenrisian axes or bolters. So you've really got a bunch of different options on these models to begin with. Now, the other units we have to look at, let's take a look in the next slide on where to expand upon these first couple. And so, looking at where to go next, the Grey Slayer pack is the other interesting unit we have. Once again, your Tactical Marines and Assault Marines will generally be the kits you build this out of, but Grey Slayers have an interesting difference. First of all, they are armed with the Fenrisian Axes, which are a Space Wolves specialist weapon. These give you +1 strength melee and the Reaping Blow special rule, as we said before. They've also got combat shields as standard as well. Now, the big thing here is this unit doesn't get to take any of the special weapons, so they have, these extra weapons to begin with, but they aren't going to be taking any of the rotor cannons or stuff like that, like the Grey Stalkers we talked about previously. Now, with that said, we then can also upgrade them with some interesting combat weaponry. For every 5 models in the unit, you can have heavy chainsaws, power fists, and lightning claws. You can also have pistols in the unit as well, like plasma pistols and hand flamers. Moving on, though, to look at some of the elite units we've got, the Savagery Wolfguard Terminator Squad is really interesting. They've got a really cool special rule called Lord's Bane, where they essentially all can issue challenges as if they were characters, which is really fun. They can be equipped in a variety of different ways, and you can actually give them all a different heavy weapon if you want as well, so it can really provide some decent firepower with every model in the unit having access to Reaper autocannons. You've got things like Great Frost Blades, which can be taken by the Thing, which is the unit's sergeant equivalent, and you've also got your base weapons as well. So you've got, as your standard sort of infantry unit, you're going to have either your Frostack, Frost Sword, or Frost Claws on them, but they can also take Power Fist, Chain Fist, and Thunder Hammers to really give them some mixed utility and especially some anti-tank ability. Now, the next unit we're going to talk about are the Deathsworn pack. These are a really interesting unit. First of all, a 2+ save is nice. They're all in, nice Artificer armor. But you've also got your Mirror class stasis bombs. Any unit that successfully charges a unit that includes one or more models with these stasis bombs must make a disordered charge. In addition, the controlling player of a unit that includes any models with these may choose to activate the Mirror class stasis bombs when declaring a charge before any dice are rolled to determine the charge distance. The Mirror class stasis bombs remain activated until the start of the controlling player's next turn, and may be activated if another charge is later declared for that unit. Whilst activated, all models with these stasis bombs add both Fleshbane and Gets Hot rules to all attacks made during the fight subphase. Some really nice little additional benefits there. They've also all got power axes as standard. These can be equipped and upgraded for every model to a Power Fist if you want, and for every 5 models in the unit as well, you can have a Thunder Hammer or a Great Frost Blade. Now, lastly, we might want to look potentially at building some extra speed, though we do have run and charge on pretty much all infantry units. Rhinos can definitely still be a really fun thing to bring. These will allow you to sort of move around your units and not necessarily take all the movement penalties from the snapshots that you have to, so maybe something interesting to take for your Grey Stalkers pack. And so here we have our sample army list. Now, we obviously are playing with the Space Wolves, and we've got a Centurion who's going to be our Warlord. We've gone for a Volkite Charger on them. We had a couple of points pair, so why not give them a nice shooting weapon? We then also have a Frost Axe on them and a Bolt Pistol. Now, we've gone for the Warlord trait of Crownbreaker. Warlord and all models in the unit gain the preferred enemy independent character special rule, which is really nice. In addition, you'll get the Feel No Pain 5+ when locked in combat with one or more enemy models with said independent character rule. On top of that as well, in addition, an army whose Warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the enemy player's movement phase, so long as the Warlord has not been removed as a casualty. Now, the Space Wolves, I think, have some really interesting Warlord traits. I do like Howl of Morkai as well, for the once per game sort of charge and attack bonus, and the Hunger of the Void as well. A Warlord with this could gain an additional wound at the end of Assault Phase when they inflict any wounds is pretty cool as well. A nice thematic one you could use to carry over in more narrative style games. Now, we then have our Deathsworn pack, which has a great Frostblade and Melter Bombs on the unit's leader. Now, the Melter Bombs are also for everyone else in the unit as well, which is really fun. We then have the Varigate Wolfguard Terminators. We've got the Thing with Combi Bolter and Great Frostblade. We have a Combi Bolter and Frost Axe and Reaper Autocannon, and then 2 Chain Fist and Combi Bolter wielding models as well. The Chain Fists really, I think, are definitely going to help that unit be able to deal maybe with a Dreadnought that comes into them. Troops-wise, rounding out our force, we have a Grey Slayer pack, which has 2 heavy chainswords, 2 plasma pistols, and we've also got a Frost Axe on the Huskarl, and then a Grey Stalker pack with 2 melty guns for some much-needed anti-armor, 2 heavy chainswords, 2 plasma pistols, and a plasma pistol Frost Axe on the unit sergeant there as well. Really fun little unit, I think, here. They can definitely put out a decent amount of anti-armor, and especially against light vehicles. And if you're getting up close, those plasma pistols can be a really nice little additional benefit to the melty guns. But if you've got some ideas on starting Space Wolves in the Horus Heresy, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. You can use one of our affiliate links to Gap Games or Element Games if you're in Australia or the United Kingdom, or you can subscribe to our YouTube members or Patreon, or grab some merch from our merch stores on Teespring or Ko-fi. All the best ways to help support the channel. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patrons: Broken Chef, Andy C, Grimscold, Colorblind Magic, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Outer and Shot First, Kenny Lowell and Soren. And to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, the Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all once again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.